Here we are at the end of the season with the conclusion of Experiment 4, no weeds for the entire 2024 season. Our persistence has paid off, and we now know how to make the solution work indefinitely. The science said it would work, and it does. Say goodbye to Roundup and all the other wallet-draining weed killers for good. Keep watching if you want to know our trick and why it hasn't been working for others.
Welcome to Brijan. Enjoy the video.
At the end of last year's failed weed season experiment, and in desperate need of new gravel for our driveway, our patience was wearing thin with the whole vinegar business. We were on the verge of giving up. At this point, all we wanted was a clean-looking driveway, and had resigned ourselves to living with Roundup forever. So, we laid down landscape fabric in the fall before the gravel delivery, and decided we'd reassess the experiment come spring. On April 8th of this year, the weeds made their annual appearance. As expected, the sharp number 2 gravel had punctured holes in the fabric. We had hoped the fabric would reduce weed growth by 40 to 60%, but it ended up mostly shredded. The weeds were popping up as if the fabric didn't even exist. So we bought a high-quality DeWalt sprayer, filled it with Roundup, and started spraying the weeds once a week. The driveway looked fantastic with the fresh gravel. By July 4th, not only was the driveway still in pristine shape, but the amount of Roundup we'd used was far less than expected. This was significant. We placed small flags wherever a weed had sprouted since the last spray. We hadn't filmed much at the beginning of the season, except for some footage showing the failure of our landscape fabric. But as the season progressed, new interest emerged. Realizing we'd need less solution, we purchased a small battery sprayer from Home Depot. We continued what we were doing, switching to the vinegar mix for the rest of the season. Quick side note, the small 1-gallon Ryobi battery sprayer is a fantastic little tool, and we'll have a review of our experience with it soon. Overall, we spent the first 90 days using our DeWalt sprayer with Roundup. For the next 70 days, we used our 1-gallon Ryobi battery sprayer. During the last half of the summer, the appearance of the driveway never changed. It looked the same as it had during the first half of the season. From this, we can conclude that the vinegar mix does what we want it to do, and that's kill weeds. So, what happened? What did we do differently this year compared to past years? The weeds never grew beyond sparse patches, so spraying the Roundup or vinegar mix once a week took almost no time at all. It didn't feel like a chore. With the convenience of the ready-to-go battery sprayer and a couple of gallon jugs of pre-mixed vinegar solution, we could be dressed in our Sunday best, take 5 minutes to give the driveway a quick squirt, and be good for a whole week. What we were doing wrong is probably the same mistake everyone else makes. First, if you've got thick, overgrown weeds, it's impossible to get everything soaked, even though you might think you did. The same thing happens with Roundup and similar products. You might have to spray 2 or 3 times before everything is dead. Second, if you were like us, you can't just spray everything once and relax for a few weeks. A new wave of weeds is germinating underfoot, even as you're spraying the visible ones. How many are germinating? Just look at where we planted the flags, week after week. We now feel confident that with our persistence and experimentation, we've found success. Now that we know how to do it, we plan to film one final video on the subject next season, where we'll track cost and time for the season. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and stay tuned. We've got exciting projects coming your way. Thanks for watching.